Okay, this video is basically going to be about all the questions we've seen in the last decade and analysing exactly what the examiners want to see. Remember, we've only got 6 concepts, that's what they're going to be about. First of all, these words. These are all words. Oh, sometimes I'll put this one in. They all mean the same thing. How are they using the concepts and changing the concepts? With your performances, we're saying make sure you put contrast in there, which creates interest, which is variety. They'll often say, is something varied? That means, have they created contrast? To create a climax, you're going to have to create contrast. You're going to have to build it up. To create tension, you have to change things. So it's all the same thing. When they ask for any of these, they're asking for all of the concepts and how they've changed them up. So don't get confused by that, and they always throw one of these in. As you see, 2001, so we'll get straight into it now. Okay, we have 6 concepts. We've got do people dance to this song. And we have duration, which is to do with rhythms and beats, pitch, melody and harmony. If you haven't already memorised this before an exam, you really need to do it right now. We have dynamics and expressive techniques. We have tone colour, which is performing media, sound production and description, texture, which is layers and roles, and finally structure, which is to do with the sections and how they create unity and contrast. So to keep it simple, I'll get rid of the sections, but just remember S for structure, S for sections. Right, there are 6 concepts. They're going to be asking about one of those, but sometimes they're sneaky. Sometimes they're very specific. Sometimes they try and throw you off the scent a bit. So what we're doing here is practicing the very first part. While they're discussing the rules, we want to be able to look at the question and quickly figure out which concepts they're after. Right, describe how the concepts of music are used. You want all of them there. So that's easy, all concepts. If you quickly write down the side of the page this stuff, you're really only going to have time to make maybe one comment on each. So you do up your structure chart and then you just say one comment about a rhythm, about the beat, about the melody, about the harmony, and you'll see that you add up to about 12 valid points. So that sort of allows you to figure out how much depth to go into. Just one comment on each of these things means you've covered everything to do with the concepts. They normally throw in an all concepts question somewhere because you've just studied the concepts for 2 years. They're going to want to give you the opportunity somewhere along the line to show you understanding of everything. Discuss the way rhythms are used. That's to do with duration. Make sure it's to do with duration, which is rhythms and beats. How are the concepts used to create climax? All concepts again, so you'd be highlighting all concepts and then quickly writing do people dance to this song, duration, pitch, dynamics, expressive techniques, etc. Structure is to do with structure, unity and contrast. So I'll just make sure duration here is to do with rhythms and beats. Okay, we go to 2002. We have structure. Easy. Explain how the performing media are used. Performing media comes under tone colour. And as long as you tie it back, you can talk about anything. You can talk about this tone colour did this or this tone colour did that. So in a way, it's saying how are the instruments used. You can actually, with that one, if you think about it, it's really an all concepts question. How are the performing media used? Well, it's actually all. How is contrast created? It's all concepts again. Describe the solo singer's use of pitch and expressive techniques. So for pitch we have melody, harmony, dynamics, and expressive techniques. Alright, we keep going down. 2003, discuss the use of pitch, which is melody and harmony. That one's great, it's nice and clear. Identify the layers of sound. Okay, layers is to do with texture, which is to do with layers and rolls. So you want to make sure you've got the concept, like I do here, and then the two subheadings. How has the composer created interest? They will have used all of the concepts. How does the composer achieve unity? Refer to the concepts. That's all concepts again. Do people dance to this song? Right, discuss use of duration, which is rhythms and beats. Explain the structure, unity and contrast. Discuss how the tone colour is used to create interest. Make sure you mention the performing media, sound production, and description. How is contrast achieved? That is all concepts. I'm just going to start doing this. Do people dance to this song? 2005, outline the structure, unity and contrast. How is repetition used? What does repetition create? Unity. Repetition is another word for unity. So if we go back up the top here,